Hello, my next review is for Rules of Attraction 2003. This is the film that I mentioned from the noughties. I saw it in the cinema 20 years ago. Firstly, be aware of the content warning, discussion of the theme of suicide. The biggest impact for me was the scene that caused the film to be rated NC-17 in the USA. It was a scene where someone takes their own life, and it is rather graphic, so I won't go into too much detail except to say that it happens in a bathroom. This film's largely a love triangle between three students at a liberal arts college in New England. It's fictitious. It's called Camden College. Roger Avary, the director and screenwriter, based it on Bret Easton Ellis's 1987 book with the same name. That time really resonated with me because I know what universities were like, certainly in the UK at that time, and it did sort of remind me very much of that era. There's a great soundtrack from the 70s and 80s, a lot of wonderful bands, The Cure, George Michael, Starland vocal band. The time I saw the film in April 2003, it was quite a difficult time for me. I was being bullied. I was trying to deal with an awful lot of things. My late sister was having a difficult time as well. She died a few years later. So the music, the soundtrack stays with me. One of the songs that had the most impact was Harry Nilsson's Without You, which is played during the difficult bathroom scene that I mentioned. Theresa Wayman, she hadn't done any acting before. She was a friend of one of the main actors, Shannon Sossamon, who plays Lauren. She does an amazing job, really difficult. And imagine the emotions, her facial expressions just really captured me. Found it I felt I was going to pass out when I first saw it in the cinema. I just thought, I don't know how I can handle this. It had a really major psychosomatic effect on me. It was partly because the music was distorting. I hadn't seen that done before. I've seen it a few times since, but when you've both eyes and ears giving you the information, it really hit me so much. It's largely inconsequential stuff that happens in the film. It's about a love story. It's about students who are chasing hedonism in pursuit of pleasure. There's an emotional vampire character. They seem to be in denial on things. Their accounts of what happened conflicts with what the other students say. There are split screen clips that show two possible points of view. I've seen this in a few other films, Dreams of a Life, and there was that film I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, Detour. It's just a wonderful way of getting the message across. The day after the film, I was still thinking about it. Went online. I had dial-up internet back in those days. So I looked up the IMDb and then searched other information. Found some websites like One Parental Advisory. It's detailed everything that a parent might find shocking if their offspring saw the film. It listed a few things for Train Spotting, which is one of my favourite films of that time from the mid-90s. But the list for this film was much longer. A lot of drug taking, people pulling guns on each other, fights, and of course the graphic scenario I mentioned. Also an overdose, and when the overdose happened earlier on in the film, I thought that was the difficult scene. When I was with my friend going into the cinema and we decided to see this film, she'd heard a review about it and she said there was a really difficult scene involving suicide. And so when this overdose happens fairly early in the film, I thought, oh right, thank goodness that's over. And so I'd relaxed after that until the situation in the bathroom, and wow, it really blew me away. I came across message boards. It was actually on Avary.com, Roger Avary's own website. I got talking to other people and I actually made a really good friend who I am still friends with after 20 years. We've met. I met her both in California and she's come over to London. That is just another aspect of the film that really makes it one of the most memorable, certainly of the noughties, but of my whole life, I would say as well. This particular friend, she introduced me to a lot of what was to become social media later, AOL Messenger, LiveJournal, Gmail, Facebook, YouTube. She knew about all of these things before me and I'm very grateful. I joined YouTube in February 2006 and from June, July that year I started sharing videos. I'll talk about that more at another time. Another thing about this film was at that time I used to go to Borders bookshop a lot. There was a large two-story branch in Islington and I'd spend hours browsing every week really. The staff left little recommendations on the bookshelves to say what they thought about particular books, and one had recommended Rules of Attraction, the book, so I bought it. I spent spent that Easter reading it cover to cover. It was a difficult Easter also because my aunt died, so I ended up then going to her funeral. There's just so many poignant memories from that particular month in 2003. In the summer that year, I started blogging, and I also went on a 4,000 kilometre round trip from London across to Harwich, Hook of Holland, through Netherlands, Germany, Denmark, Sweden, up to Finnish Lapland, and then returned, and it was just amazing. In this film, there's a 4-minute run through of Victor's European tour. Like many of the characters, he's not a particularly likeable person. He's always after sex, and it's just not exactly great. I just thought, I'm going on my own European tour. It was really nice to log about it. But afterwards, as I was waiting for the VHS video to come out, home video, I went back to Roger Avary's website and I emailed him, and I was so gobsmacked when he replied. It actually was on my birthday. It was a really great birthday present to just get an email from a film director for the first time in my life. My friend over in the States, she actually went to a yard sale and she bought some props. She bought some of the blood used in one of the scenes. When the VHS came out, I watched it over and over. I showed it to so many friends, and I asked one the other day what she remembered about this film, and she remembers the backward scenes. There's a lot of rewinding and then fast forwarding. It's at the start of the film as a part of the really long introduction to show the relationships between the three main characters, the love triangle scenario. Now, there are other difficult scenes apart from the graphic scene I mentioned. There's an awful rape scene. There's also some homophobia. There's violence relating to a drug dealer. It's Sean Bateman. He happens to be the brother of Patrick Bateman, who was a character in American Psycho. I've not seen that film, but I've got a good impression about what that film's like. That and the split screen scenes, like the scene between when Sean Bateman first meets Lauren Hind. That's all split screen, how they get to meet one Saturday morning. Absolutely loved it. I hadn't seen anything like that, and it really counted for a lot. I've seen it at least 70 times. I've got to spot so much. There's hidden scenes. One particular character keeps appearing during the early part of the film, and you spot her. She's got a crush on another character, so you see her appearing, hiding. Poignant, tragic. Eventually, in Finland, I was searching for the DVD and I bought it, and I absolutely loved the audio commentaries. The best one's probably Sharon Seymour. Explains a lot about set designs. I learnt a lot. I really actually miss the insights of the filmmaking process. With streaming, I wonder whether we lose out on the stuff that we don't get to see nowadays without the audio commentaries. Various actors talk about the scenes where they appear in a lot. There's amazing dark humour. There's a scene with Swoosie Kurtz, Faye Dunaway, Russell Sams and Ian Somerhalder. I just found it so hilarious. It's like the two gay lads. One's practically lost his mind. Is with a few of the characters that I'm sure he actually says in the book that their brain is fried, and he's so off the wall. He's just played so amazingly well by Russell Sams. This rich, dark seam of humour all the way through the film. So superbly crafted, so much feeling in the film. Really felt so much for Shannon Sossaman's character, Lauren. Though she does some things that I wouldn't dream of doing, but there's sometimes she's the object of Sean Bateman's affections. He seems to think that she's writing him notes. There's this misunderstanding, and after she goes into the bathroom where this awful event has happened, there's really terrible stuff that happens when Sean makes a final attempt to get her attention. Backfires so badly. About Victor's European tour, I gather that Roger Avary, he hadn't got much budget at that point, so he took a handheld camera with him to London, to Amsterdam, to Dublin, Paris, Rome, various places, filmed it all. About 70 hours. I knew it would be cult classic soon after I'd seen this film, so I'm so pleased it has. As I say, there's some very difficult material in it, problematic behaviour for certain, and yet it is one of those films that really taught me a lot about filmmaking. So much much about what you can do in films. So inspired by it. It gets a 9.5 out of 10. Highest score of the films I've reviewed so far. One day I'd really like to see it in the cinema again, maybe the 25th anniversary or the 30th. One thing also I like, spotting over the 20 years since then, all the films and many other characters, just seeing how people have developed over the years since then. Many of them were brand new to me back then. I didn't know of them. It's lovely to see how they've progressed since 2002 when it was filmed. In fact, 2001, the early days of the noughties. The End of the World Party was filmed on the 11th of September 2001. That must have been really difficult. Also, a lot of it was filmed in Downey in Los Angeles, the site of a disused asylum. Wow, that must have been so creepy. Great stuff on the audio commentaries, I think. I've recently heard Bret Easton Ellis podcast where he actually talked to James Van Der Beek. If you've seen Rules of Attraction, let me know what you think. And if you like this review, please hit the like button. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.